My name is Julia, and in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to create this bear amigurumi wearing a cute shirt. It's about 19 centimeters tall and is perfect for gifting, decorating, or even selling. If you make this bear, be sure to tag me on social media so I can see your version. Let's get started. I'm using a 3mm hook. I'll be using this acrylic yarn, but you can use your preferred yarn. All the materials I'm using are listed in the description, so check before you begin. In the first round of the head, we'll make 6 single crochets into the magic ring. In this project, we'll always yarn under when making the single crochet. All the instructions for each round of this amigurumi will appear in the left corner of the screen, so if the video is too fast or you don't understand a step, pause the video and follow the pattern that appears on the screen. I'm closing the magic ring and starting the second round. We'll make 6 increases in this round, meaning we'll make 2 single crochets in each stitch of the previous round. At the end of this round, we'll have 12 stitches. I'll mark the last stitch of the round with this piece of yarn. In the third round, we'll make 1 single crochet and 1 increase, repeating this sequence 6 times. We'll have 18 stitches at the end of this round. I'm doing the final increase of this round. I'll always mark the last stitch of each round with this piece of yarn. In the fourth round, we'll start with 1 single crochet and 1 increase. Then, we'll repeat the sequence of 2 single crochets and 1 increase 5 times. Finally, we'll end this round with 1 more single crochet. At the end of this round, we'll have 24 stitches. In the 5th round, we'll make 3 single crochets and 1 increase, and we'll repeat this sequence 6 times. We'll have 30 stitches at the end of this round. In the 6th round, we'll start with 2 single crochets and 1 increase. Then, we'll repeat the sequence of 4 single crochets and 1 increase 5 times. We'll finish the round with 2 more single crochets. At the end of this round, we'll have 36 stitches. In the 7th round, we'll make 5 single crochets and 1 increase, repeating this sequence 6 times. We'll have 42 stitches at the end of this round. In the 8th round, we'll make 3 single crochets and 1 increase. Then, we'll make 6 single crochets and 1 increase. We'll repeat this sequence 5 times. We'll finish this round with 3 more single crochets. At the end, we'll have 48 stitches. In the 9th round, we'll make 7 single crochets and 1 increase. We'll repeat this sequence 6 times. We'll have 54 stitches at the end of the round. From round 10 to 15, we'll continue making 54 stitches all around. I've already completed the 6 rounds of single crochets, and now I have a total of 15 rounds. Let's start round 16 by making 4 single crochets and 1 increase. Then, we'll do 5 sequences of 8 single crochets and 1 increase. Finally, we'll make 4 more single crochets. At the end of this round, we'll have 60 stitches. In round 17, we'll make 9 single crochets and 1 increase. We'll repeat this sequence 6 times. We'll have 66 stitches at the end. I've finished round 17, I'll mark the last stitch. Now, let's do 2 rounds of single crochets. I'll do that and be right back. I've completed rounds 18 and 19. Let's move on. Now we'll start the decreases. In round 20, I'll do 6 sequences of 9 single crochets and 1 decrease. We'll end up with 60 stitches. To make the invisible decrease, I'll insert the hook through the front loops of the next 2 single crochets. We now have both loops on the hook. Now, I'll yarn under and complete the single crochet as usual. We'll do all the decreases this way. I've reached the last sequence of this round. I'll mark the last stitch of this round. In round 21, we'll start with 4 single crochets and 1 decrease. Then, we'll do 5 sequences of 8 single crochets and 1 decrease. Finally, we'll make 4 more single crochets. At the end of this round, we'll have 54 stitches. I've completed 4 single crochets and 1 decrease. Now I'll do 8 single crochets and 1 decrease 5 times, and then finish with 4 more single crochets. Now that we've picked up the pace, let's speed up in this final part of the head. In round 22, we'll do 7 single crochets and 1 decrease all around. I've completed round 22, and now, in round 23, we'll start with 3 single crochets and 1 decrease. Then, 5 sequences of 6 single crochets and 1 decrease. Finally, 3 more single crochets. In round 24, we will work 6 sequences of 5 single crochets followed by 1 decrease. We will have 36 stitches at the end of the round. In round 25, we begin with 2 single crochets and 1 decrease. Then, 4 single crochets and 1 decrease 5 times. And we'll finish with 2 single crochets. In round 26, we'll do 3 single crochets and 1 decrease throughout the round. I'm finishing the last decrease of this round. This is the final round for the bear's head. We have a total of 24 stitches. Now, let's finish with a slip stitch in the next stitch and a chain. Leave a long tail of yarn for sewing later. We can remove the stitch marker. And let's make the ears. We'll start by making 6 single crochets in the magic ring. In the second round, we'll do 6 increases, ending up with 12 stitches. In the third round, we'll do 3 single crochets and 1 increase 3 times. We'll have 15 stitches. Now, let's make 2 rounds of single crochets. I've just finished rounds 4 and 5. Now, let's fold the ear in half and align the stitches on both sides. We'll insert the hook into these 2 stitches and make 7 single crochets. I've finished with a chain to secure the stitch and left a long tail of yarn for sewing. I'll shape it to give it an ear-like form. We'll repeat the same steps for the second ear. Now, let's start making the leg. In the first round, we'll do 6 single crochets in the magic ring. In the second round, we'll do 6 increases. I'll also mark the last stitch of the round. In the third round, we'll do 3 sets of 3 single crochets and 1 increase. We'll have 15 stitches at the end of this round. Now, let's make 6 rounds of single crochets. I've just finished the last stitch and I have a total of 9 rounds. I'll finish the first leg with a slip stitch and a chain, then I can cut the yarn. This is our first leg. To make the second leg, I'll repeat the same process up to round 9, but I won't cut the yarn. Now, let's start the body. For the second leg, I'll make 3 chains. We'll continue counting the rounds of the body from the rounds we've already made for the leg, so we're now on round 10. Round 10 has many instructions, so I divided it into 10 to 1 to 10 to 5, but it's all part of the same round. Now, let's join the 2 legs. We can start the stitches anywhere on the leg. To join, simply insert the hook into a stitch on the first leg, yarn under, and complete the single crochet as usual. In the first leg we made, we'll do 3 single crochets. I've finished the 3 single crochets. Now, we'll do 2 sets of 1 increase and 5 single crochets. I'm hiding the leftover yarn from the first leg behind the stitches to secure it. We've reached the chains, and now we'll do one increase, one single crochet, and another increase. Now we're on the second leg. We'll do 2 sets of 5 single crochets and 1 increase, followed by 3 single crochets. We've reached the other side of the chains. We'll do 3 single crochets, 1 in each chain. And we've finished the 10th round. We now have 42 stitches. Now we can remove the leg stitch markers. Let's mark the last stitch of the round where we finished the 10th round. From round 11 to 16, we'll do single crochets. This means that for the next 6 rounds, we'll do 42 single crochets all around. I've finished the 6 rounds of single crochets, and I now have a total of 16 rounds. Let's start the decreases. In round 17, we'll do 6 sets of 5 single crochets and 1 decrease. We'll do 3 rounds of single crochets. I'll make those rounds and be right back. I've completed rounds 18, 19, and 20. We now have a total of 20 rounds. In round 21, we'll do 4 single crochets and 1 decrease all around. This will leave us with 30 stitches. Once again, we'll do 3 rounds of single crochets. We now have a total of 24 rounds. I'm going to start stuffing the body to make it easier. In round 25, we'll do 3 single crochets and 1 decrease. Round 26 will be our final round, and in it, we'll do 24 single crochets all around. I've finished with a slip stitch and a chain, and now we can cut the yarn. Let's finish stuffing the bear. And now, let's move on to the arms. We'll start the first round by making 6 single crochets in the magic ring. In the second round, we'll do 1 single crochet and 1 increase 3 times. From round 3 to round 11, we'll do 9 single crochets all around. I've finished my rounds of single crochets. Just like we did for the ears, we'll fold the arm in half, aligning the stitches on both sides, and make 4 single crochets. Leave a piece of yarn to sew onto the body later. And let's repeat the same process to make the second arm. To create the snout, I'll use this velvet yarn and follow the pattern on the screen. You can use a different type of yarn if you don't have velvet, but the velvet yarn creates a cuter snout. The snout looks like this. I'll use a finer cotton thread to create the nose and mouth. I insert the needle in the middle of the snout. Decide on the size of the nose. Then I'll keep passing the needle through the nose several times to fill it up. To create the mouth, I'll measure the size I want. Pass the thread once. And then secure the bottom part of the mouth with a stitch. The snout looks like this. Now it's time to assemble the bear. Let's sew the snout to the front of the head. I'll use a needle and white sewing thread. I'll skip 7 rounds, counting from the bottom to the top. First, I insert the needle and leave a piece of thread to tie a knot later. I catch the back loop of the stitches on the snout. Then I go back with the needle through the same hole I came out from before. Inside the head, I move to the next stitch, pass the needle through the hole, and then through the back loop of the snout stitch. I go back through the same hole and repeat this process until I finish. This way, the seam becomes almost invisible. I finish by tying a knot at the end of the leftover thread. I'll use a 15mm safety eye with a washer. Starting from the top of the head, I'll place the eye between the 13th and 14th rounds. I'll skip 2 stitches from the side of the snout. To create the eyebrows, I'll use black thread and follow the process shown in the video. Now we can stuff the bear's head. Also the arms to the second round of the body, counting from the top. Position the arms on the sides of the body as you prefer. The sewing is straightforward, as shown in the video. After sewing, just tie a knot and cut the thread. Time to sew the head onto the body. I'll hide the leftover yarn from the body. Make sure the head and body are aligned before starting to sew. The sewing process is simple and straightforward, as demonstrated in the video. I'll finish with a knot. I exit the needle at another part of the body to secure the yarn, and now we can cut it. Leave a space of 5 stitches between the eye and the ear. We'll start sewing the ear in the 7th round of the head. Here, I use the same technique as with the snout. I exit the needle, pass through the ear, and go back through the same hole to make the seam less visible. To create the shirt, I begin with 10 chains. These chains correspond to the height of the shirt. I make 2 more chains, which will serve as my first double crochet stitch. Skipping these 2 chains, from there, I'll continue making double crochet stitches in each chain. I've reached the last chain. I'll chain 2 more and turn the work. Since these chains count as the first double crochet, I'll skip this first stitch and continue making double crochet stitches to the end. Always work in the back loops of double crochets from the previous round. I've reached the last double crochet, and again, I'll chain 2 and turn the work. Then continue making double crochet stitches on the other side. We'll do this until we reach the width of the bear. Leave a long tail of yarn to sew both sides of the shirt. Finish with a knot and you can cut the yarn. To make the straps, I'll measure on the bear and mark where I want them. I insert the hook there and make 12 chains. Finish with a slip stitch on the other side. Reinforce both ends of the strap with a knot to secure it, then finish off. I added a flower applique for decoration. I used a needle and the yarn to zigzag between the double crochet stitches at the top of the shirt, leaving the yarn loose on the back. Let's dress the bear. Now, with the thread I left there, I'll pull and adjust it to the bear's body, so the shirt won't be loose at the top. I'll cut and secure the leftover yarn. And our teddy bear amigurumi is done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to not miss other videos like this. See you next time.